This right here?
Yeah, they put them there.
This the setup.
They put them there on purpose,
Y'all know where
bro.
we at.
They gonna set them hoes right up on the route of.
Y'all know what building this is right here. I ain't even gonna say what name it is.
Hey, where do them bricks go to? Where do them bricks go to? Where do them bricks go to?
We gotta do better.
Ain't no damn construction.
Gotta do better.
Ain't no damn construction around.
See then, look. I want you to know this is not.
Don't police people's way of
Let me tell you this.
themselves.
This is not a black woman who's put in Black Lives Matter. I just want you to know that when. Right, but y'all doing that for us, and we ain't asked you to do that. Listen. Don't spray stuff on here when they gonna blame black people for this, and black people didn't do it.
There's a black person.
But
We did.
if we wanted you to do it, we would have asked. They not gonna show y'all faces when they see that on their building. They gonna blame that on us. Y'all are part of the problem. News come on, they gonna say we did that. We didn't do that. Stuff like this ain't right. Stuff like this ain't right. That's what the problem is. We out here standing together peacefully, protesting without any problems. You got people of all races spraying on buildings talking about Black Lives Matter. That ain't even us.
We're building barricades. Go get everything you can find. Go get everything you can find. These are the boys right here. This is the team. There's more stuff that we can put out here. Hey, there's 3 picnic tables up here. There's a couple picnic tables up here. Let's go on. Come on, y'all.
Probably the end of 2015, somewhere in there, probably going into 2016, I started to notice, I began to notice infiltrators coming into the movement, which is already, it's been like this for a long time, but I actually started to see them all online, making fake pages. And basically these fake people, part of the black movement or whatever you want to call it, were basically, you know, feeding off our emotions, trying to get us involved in things that we're not involved in, trying to get us to believe in things that we weren't familiar with, and basically pushing us to be more left and democratic. And I'm gonna concentrate right now anyway on the black leaders. Okay, the black leaders, a lot of the black leaders, and I want to hit with this video. A lot of the black leaders are straight leading us to our demise. Okay, they have us working, doing their dirty work. For us, their dirty work, I mean the far left's dirty work. They got us working basically for them, because how they're getting us is they're playing us emotionally. And they're basically saying how racist and how messed up guys on the far right and the neo-Nazis are, because they need all the help that they can get. So they're getting the gays, they're getting people of other cultures, the people of the far left. I'm talking about the far left. I'm getting somewhere with this. They're getting gays, they're getting black people, anybody who doesn't like Donald Trump. They're basically trying to get you to fight for a war that is being started on American turf very, very soon. And they want us to be a part of their side. What I'm trying to get the black population to understand and understand, and this is critical, is the movement has been compromised. Okay, everybody needs to know that the RBG movement has been compromised. BLM, if you are not caught up to BLM, it is not even a real black organization. It never was. I actually feel bad that I've been keeping a lot of this information cooped up for so long, but I just felt like, you know, it wasn't getting anywhere. But now things are about to go ahead and hit the fan.
People across the country are hitting the streets to show their support for the attempted communist revolution that the Democrats and the liberal media industrial complex have been planning for years. But if you were to watch CNN, they'll tell you that these are just like the Martin Luther King marches, with people peacefully demonstrating for what the police in Minneapolis did to George Floyd. Here's some lovely upstanding citizens supporting a local business in New York, getting some new Air Jordans for when they go out for a summer jog. These future doctors and lawyers decided to stop by a luxury Louis Vuitton store to pick up some new handbags and wallets. Hey, save one for me, yo! After working up an appetite, rioting and looting to help bring justice for whatever his name was, this Anteeefa member decided to steal a cheesecake from the local cheesecake factory.
Well, that is saying something, given the experience you have covering these protests, Deborah. And it sounds like from your experience, you see someone actually walking away with a cheesecake there after the cheesecake factory was looted. Unclear where they may have gotten that, but...
Yes, it's unclear where she got the cheesecake as she walks out of a looted cheesecake factory. I'm sure she baked it at home and was just bringing it to work.
But the more that I think about it, I realize that we are being sold a lot of lies, and at the detriment to the black community, at the detriment to the white community, and at the detriment to America as a whole. So I want to come out and say that I do not support George Floyd and the media depiction of him as a martyr for Black America. I'm going to explain why, and I hope that some of you guys will understand where I'm coming from. I have spent a considerable amount of time reading a lot.
If you have any kind of brain, you know BLM is endorsed by the Soros in the Clinton family. If you have any kind of a brain, you know that those same people don't give a damn about you, don't give a damn about black people, don't give a damn. They're exploiting the black plight to make money off of you. They're using your emotions, and based off what has happened to you, they're using that against you so you can join these evil demonic people to help fight the people on the far right. They want, or not even the far right. I want to make this simple. The left is going against the right. It's a huge civil war that's being planned out. I want to make this simple. It's happening right now. And what they want is for everybody to choose a side consciously or subconsciously. Now, a lot of these white boys and a lot of these white people, they've already chosen their side. Okay. And what I'm saying to these people is, my people, is you're setting yourself up to get slaughtered. Okay, become armed. Okay, become aware. Know what's going on within the system, because right now there is hidden powers who are controlling the narrative, and they're brainwashing you to feel a certain way about the system, about white people, about every race, and about yourselves. Do not let these beasts, do not let these evil people do this. And I'm not talking about any particular race, man. You got black people, man. Like I said, the movement has been compromised. There is no black RBG movement. If you were claiming BLM, you a real sad motherfucker.
You cannot be civil with a political party that wants to destroy what you stand for, what you care about. That's why I believe if we are fortunate enough to win back the House and/or the Senate, that's when civility can start again. But until then, the only thing that the Republicans seem to recognize and respect is strength.
I said the movement has been compromised. There is no black RBG movement. If you were claiming BLM, you a real sad motherfucker. For the simple fact that BLM has always and from the very beginning was being promoted and being paid for by Soros and Clinton. If you think that these people who've never given a damn about you, all of a sudden, they care about the black man's plight. All of a sudden, man, y'all pay attention. Y'all really got to pay attention. I'm getting somewhere with this, I promise. All of a sudden, these white people on the left, and they've been doing this, but all of a sudden they, are supporting the black plight. This is all to get as many numbers as they can on their side to fight this civil war that they're planning out, that they're already being prepared for. You're going to have to choose a side. Don't set yourself up to get slaughtered. This is all a big setup. It's huge propaganda. The biggest propaganda that could be happening right now. And what I want people to understand and understand is that we got to put the race thing to the side right now. We have to put it to the side because we have to understand what's going on and what's important. And the reason why it's so important on black people, because I know black people are like, okay, the left versus the right, what does that have to do with us? Because the people on the left are trying to use us. The people on the left are using us. The Democratic Party are using black people to fight their war with Anteeefa, with it's getting very, very deep. If you don't know who Anteeefa is, look Anteeefa up.
What we're up against is Marxism. We have an enemy out there, and what we're seeing right now is the true evil of that. And we have to understand that we find this in most of these blue states, where you have governors who have not only shut down businesses for the last 3 months, don't want to open them up, and then you have these mayors who actually allow these people to come in and just destroy business across the board. These small businesses, where our economy will come back strong, and we have Marxists that are actually up against that. So we have to realize what our enemy is. I'm looking forward to a president looking at these people as terrorists, because that's who they really are, and they need to pay the price for being so.
Burgess, we've seen these protests, which were justified, take a different turn, and it's just outrageous to see this looting and to see these riots. When you first saw that video of George Floyd, and now when you look at the video of all the rioting, the looting, what are your thoughts?
Well, first of all, we're all together as a country to realize that was a heinous deed done to George. Nothing like that should ever be done to any American here. We have to realize it's not about George anymore. It's about our country. It's about those who hate our nation. And I'm going to be straight up front with you. For those in the Democratic Party, look at your leadership. You have evil being done by your leadership. People want to see hurt and harm to American people, our economy, pain. That's what they do in every single state they live in and every single city they oversee. We need to make sure that this same party that once has a terrorist arm, the KKK, now has a terrorist arm, the Anteeefa. The only difference in their covering is their color, whether it be white or black. The covering is different, but it's the same process. So we have to understand who we're up against. And for my Democratic friends out there, realize what your party is doing right now. They're trying to divide us. We cannot stand for this. We cannot stand to lose our American way. And our business owners have to be given an opportunity to come back strong and do what they do best.
I hope Derek Chauvin gets the justice that he deserves to be, implemented upon him, and that the family of George Floyd deserves justice for the way that he died. But I also am not going to accept the narrative that this is the best the Black community has to offer. For whatever reason, it has become fashionable over the last 5 or 6 years for us to turn criminals into heroes overnight. And it is something that I find to be despicable, and it is something that I refuse to stand by any longer, and I am not going to play a part in it, no matter how much pressure comes from Black liberals and Black conservatives as some token of people wanting you to believe that this is the only way you can be Black, is you have to say this was wrong and that this person was amazing. I won't do that. George Floyd was not an amazing person, and as soon as this video hit the internet, I did just basic searches. Everyone jumped on it and was looking at the police officer, and everyone agrees that the police officer was wrong, and the police officer has been arrested. So that is not the reason I'm not discussing that, is because that is not something that has been misconstrued in the media. He has been turned into the devil that he is, and there is no reason for us to harp on that any longer, because white Americans are not uplifting Derek Chauvin as a victim or pretending that he's an amazing human being. But George Floyd is being uplifted as an amazing human being. For those of you who have not yet seen the clips and did not pursue or wait for more clips to come out, first and foremost, George Floyd at the time of his arrest was high on fentanyl, and he was high on methamphetamine. This came back in both of his autopsy reports. If you pursue the 911 transcript, you can see the person describing somebody who is out of their mind high, and which is what made the person fearful, because he tried to use a bill that I guess was a fake bill to purchase something, and then he was outside acting weird, and they, in their police call, said that this person was obviously distorted and on drugs. When he is put into handcuffs and is put against the wall, a baggie of what looks to be like cocaine or it's a white baggie that he drops onto the floor that you can see in an image. If you look up the clip, the media is refusing to circulate it. You can find it on Twitter. If you use DuckDuckGo and look up George Floyd baggie, you can watch the clip yourself with your own eyes. He had drugs on him at the time of his arrest. Now, barring all of that, nobody thinks that he should have died during this arrest, but what I find despicable to be is that everyone is pretending that this man lived a heroic lifestyle when he didn't, and I want to talk about what his lifestyle was leading up to this moment, and why I refuse to accept the narrative that this person is a martyr or should be lifted up in the Black community, and that we should be buying t-shirts with his name on it, okay? So here we have, first and foremost, let's start from the bottom of his record. And by the way, I am not saying that if you have a record, you don't deserve a second chance. I think people get arrested, and some people can serve time in prison, and I believe in second chances, but I do draw the line when it comes to second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, and ninth chances. 1998, he spent 10 months in prison for theft with a firearm. That was the first prison stint that I could find on him. In 2002, he spent 8 months in prison for a cocaine offense. In 2004, just 2 years later, he spent another 10 months in prison for a cocaine offense. In 2005, he spent another 10 months in prison for having less than 1 gram of cocaine on him again. In 2007, and this was the biggest instant that I had that made me realize this was a horrible human being that I am not going to pretend was a good person. In 2005, a woman who was pregnant received a knock at the door, and she went to the door, and the person pretended to be someone that worked for the water department. So she opened her door and quickly realized that the person at her door did not work for the water department, and attempted to slam it. At the moment that she was attempting to slam it, a Ford pulled up and another 5 men jumped out of the car, and one of which was George Floyd, came up to the door and they forced their way inside to her home, inside of her home. Mind you, this woman is pregnant. At that point, George Floyd took out a gun and pressed it to her stomach. She was screaming, begging for her life, and he put her inside of her living room and instructed one of his criminal friends that was with him to watch her and to make sure she didn't leave the living room. So he was playing guard while they ransacked her home looking for drugs and money. They did not find drugs. They ended up taking, I believe, her wallet and her cell phone. Fortunately for her, her neighbor observed what was going on and caught the license plate of the people as they pulled off and called 911. And when 911 was able to, they were able to track down the car of which George Floyd was the driver, and they arrested him. And 2 years later, he was sentenced to 5 years in prison for that instance. Now, you can say the media is portraying it like he was just getting his life together after, being released in 2014 following that incident. He was just getting his life together and moved and was going to start afresh. I'd like to believe all of those things, and there's a gap, and he never got in trouble for 5 years until this incident when the police were called on him again. But you are defying common sense to believe that this person suddenly became an exemplary character but happened to be high on fentanyl and methamphetamine and trying to use a bill, a fake bill, to purchase something. And so, in my opinion, George Floyd was a criminal. He was a criminal, and just because he was a criminal doesn't mean he deserved to die at the knee of a police officer. But it does mean that I am not going to play a part of the broken Black culture that always wants to martyr criminals, who wants to pretend they were these upstanding human beings that just wanted to help society, that just wanted to reach out and uplift society. And he has a rap sheet that is long, that is dangerous. He was an example of a violent criminal his entire life. Okay, up until the very last moment. Now, again, I want to be clear. This is not a defense for Derek Chauvin. No one that I have spoken to, no one in the news is defending Derek Chauvin. He is getting what he has coming to him. Okay, great. But why are we pretending that this criminal should be upheld as a citizen, as a martyr in Black America? A martyr for a fake narrative.
Because the people on the left are trying to use us. The people on the left are using us. The Democratic Party are using Black people to fight their war with Anteeefa, with it's getting very, very deep. If you don't know who Anteeefa is, look Anteeefa up. Basically a terrorist group. I don't know what people's belief system is. You can call them what you want to call them. But they're basically like a militant group, and they're anti-fascist. That's what Anteeefa stands for. It stands for anti-fascist. And with that being said, this group is being paid for by, you guessed it, the younger Rothschilds, the Clintons, and the Soros. And the media is downplaying this group. They're not telling people about this group. But people on the far left are trying to get Black people and as many people who are part of the far left to join this side. And what they want to do is they want to take the guns away from the people on the far right. Their whole plan is to even a playing field, because the people on the far right, they deal with guns. They have all the guns. And right now, as it stands, the people on the left are set to get slaughtered. That's why they're pushing gun laws. They're pushing gun laws for the simple fact that if you're able to take some of these guns away, because Trump is implementing more gun laws. I don't care what people feel about Trump. I'm not reacting on feelings right now. I don't want people to come and be talking about how they feel about people. You think I'm a big Trump fan? No. I'm just letting y'all know. I'm just giving the information as I get it. This is happening, yo. This is happening right now. November 4th is the day that Anteeefa has pledged that this war is going to begin. November 4th, 2017. And I want everybody to know that it's already here with this whole Las Vegas thing, okay, with them attacking that country movie, in Las Vegas, that country music show or whatever in Las Vegas, it was pretty much all white people. That was a direct hit. That was a direct hit from the left party. I don't know if you can say Anteeefa did it, but it was a direct hit from the left going against the right. What I want black people, my people, to understand is don't get involved in something that has nothing to do with y'all. And take this information. Don't let the blacks and Hispanics to run with this information. Take this information, run with this information. This information is out there. If you don't take my word for it, do your own damn research, because it may be some things that I'm not wording right. It may be some things that I'm not saying right. I'm trying to get people to understand, my people in particular to understand, and everybody to understand that our little minor differences right now, because trust me, I'm pro-black. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm representing. It don't matter right now though. It don't matter right now though. It don't matter. You don't fuck with black people when you white. Hey man, that's your prerogative. That's not what the conversation is right now. That's not what's going on right now is so much bigger. So much bigger than the race issue. And if people ask me, Chaziel, so which side are you go choose? Which side are you going with? If you got to choose the smart side, I'm damn sure not to about to go over there with Hillary and the Soros.
Bruh, they got them bricks, bruh. We are protesting. Shit crazy. Some random ass bricks, bruh. Ain't no construction. Ain't no construction, bruh. Just some random ass bricks sitting here.
Police brutality, racially motivated police brutality is a myth, okay? So let's get into that. Not only are we using this death, right, and allowing it to cause these riots and protests, pretending this was some upstanding citizen in the black community who was tackled down and killed for no reason, right? Not only are we allowing it to inspire riots in which black people are dying, in which actual upstanding black citizens are dying. Case in point, I'm sure you guys have all now seen David, the sheriff that just was shot and killed because he was trying to protect a pawn shop. Please look him up if you haven't seen it. I'm blanking on his last name. His first name is David, who was shot and killed for trying to protect a pawn shop from looters, an upstanding citizen, an actual head of a police. He was the head of a police his entire life, 77 years old, did everything right? So we now have to kill upstanding black citizens because a non-upstanding black citizen, a career black criminal, died. Now, did he deserve to die in that manner? No. I can't say it enough. No, he didn't deserve to die in that manner. But I will be damned if the rest of us upstanding black citizens have to suffer because of this incident that rarely ever happens in America. So here are some numbers for you people that are still believing that police brutality is a real, racially motivated police brutality is a real thing. First and foremost, okay, you have a 25% higher chance as a violent white criminal of dying at the hands of a police officer than you do as a black criminal. Last year, a total of 9 unarmed black men were killed by police officers and 19 white men were killed by police officers. For those of you that aren't good at mathematics, right, you might be thinking, oh, but Candace, white people represent 60% of the population and black people represent just 13% of the population. It doesn't matter what percentage of the population you represent. It matters what percentage of the violent criminal community you represent. And unfortunately, black community commits a disproportionate amount of crimes compared to the white community. Let me tell you, 6% of the population, right? Black men, 6% of the population account for 44% of all murders in this country, according to 2018 statistics. That is what you call a gap. And yet white people who represent 60% of the population, we represent 13, black men are 6%, only represent 50% of all the murders, right? That makes no sense. That makes no sense. A 6-point variation in a community where we are extreme minorities. We commit 50% of all violent offenses, evenly split, and we're only 13% of the population, okay? So we have a lot more encounters with police officers. And don't say the police officers are coming around because we're black. I'm talking about violent criminals. I'm talking about murder, 44% of murders, okay? You want to talk about real statistics? The police officers have way more to be fearful of in the black community than the other way around, okay? We commit, on average, a police officer is 18.5 times more likely to be killed by a black person than the other way around. Okay, so this entire narrative is complete smoke and mirrors. It's all made up. It's just election fodder. It's white versus black because it's an election year, not because black Americans are suffering at the hands of police officers more than white Americans. Do some police officers do the wrong thing? Yes. I don't think there's anybody in the world who has not encountered a police officer and thought this person is an absolute jerk who is power tripping, whether you are black or white. We know they exist. And we know they're always going to exist, by the way, because they're human beings. And sometimes human beings suck. In fact, if you want to attack a community for accidental slayings or brutality, did you know that doctors accidentally kill 250,000 people every year because of mistakes? Did you know that there's been doctors that have been arrested for being serial killers, that just were killing people because they wanted to? Do we protest and boycott doctors? Do we assume all doctors are horrible human beings because some doctors are? Or do we realize that society is not perfectible? People suck in every profession. It is no excuse to paint society with a broad brush. It is certainly no excuse to accept a Democrat narrative, okay, that black people are being disproportionately hunted down by police officers because of the color of their skin. You want to know the best way to avoid not being brutalized by a police officer is to limit the amount of encounters you need to have with them, especially when it comes to violent crimes. Okay? I am not going to stand for this continual bottom-feeding narrative of us martyring people that have had 5, 6, 7 stints in prison and then pretending they were upstanding heroes to our community. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. Excuse my language. It's absolute bullshit, and I'm tired of it. I'm tired of having to play pretend. I'm tired of sitting here and being called a coon or an Uncle Tom because I won't play this bottom-feeding game with you. If you want to hang up posters of criminals on your wall and talk about them as your martyrs, do it. Do it. You can do it. Kobe Bryant was my idol, okay? I'll keep a photo of Kobe Bryant. You can keep one of George Floyd and pretend he was an upstanding human being that just once or twice put a gun across a pregnant woman's belly. Could you imagine that woman right now? That black woman, by the way? Right? Watching everybody pretend this person was an upstanding human being who just at the age of 42 and 5 prison stints was going to get his life together. I mean, it's embarrassing. We are embarrassing in that regard, right? This is why we have a cycle and a toxic culture, because nobody wants to tell the truth in Black America. It's so easy to be a victim. It's so easy to ask white people to bow down and apologize and do all these things for us. It's crap. It's crap. It's a lie. It's a farce. Our biggest problem is us, okay? It's why we don't talk about it when black on black crime happens. It's why we don't talk about it when 40 black people are killed in one weekend during Memorial Weekend in Chicago. We don't want to talk about any of that stuff. We don't want to talk about Baltimore. We don't want to talk about New Jersey. We don't want to talk about any of these places where black people are being slaughtered by other blacks, because that would mean that we had to be personally accountable, right? That would mean personal responsibility. We don't do personal responsibility in our community. We don't do it. We blame white people. Right? We only point a camera to white people when they do something, even though we do it at a way higher rate to ourselves, right? We celebrate our drug dealers. We're the only community, right, that would ever create hashtags to free people from prison because they committed crimes, like free Meek Mill, free this rapper, free this rapper. How hard is it to not spend multiple times in prison? How difficult is that? Is that too hard for us? Is that way too high of a mountain for us to scale, to do the right thing, to be upstanding citizens?
Of economic and social inequity.
And of course, Hollywood celebrities are funding the terrorists. Model Chrissy Teigen announced that she's donating $200,000 to bail them out of jail. Justin Timberlake, Steve Carell, Seth Rogen, and many others are also contributing to help the terrorists. Of course, they think that's going to save them from the monster they have created, but the communists have already infiltrated Beverly Hills. Here they are on Rodeo Drive, chanting, "Eat the rich." Eat the rich! Eat the rich! Eat the rich! Eat the rich! Eat the rich!
People ask me, Chaziel, so which side are you going to choose? Which side are you going with? If you got to choose, the smart side. I'm damn sure not about to go over there with Hillary and the Soros. Come on, you got to use your brain. As much as you have to be strategic in your movements. As much as you feel however you feel about the right, they are straightforward. The people on the left are lying to you and trying to get you to do their dirty work and get slaughtered. We represent 12% of the population. Okay, you can be whatever you want to be. I ain't trying to dictate what you want to do, but just be strategic in how you move, man. You black people are still running around talking about hands up, don't shoot. Talking about take a knee, kneeling at the football game. You got celebrities being endorsed by these because they know the best way to get Negroes is through entertainment. We're entertained. But these white people on the far right, they ready, you know, and I ain't trying to juice nobody up. I'm trying to gas nobody up, man. I ain't got time for it. I'm just giving you the information as I'm presenting it. I ain't got time to try to gas them up and try to make it sound like it's this and it's that. Look, man, all I'm saying is, hey, they got their guns. They ready to go. They ready to go. While we're sitting up trying to be cute, drinking white tears and shit, this is serious, yo. This is 100% serious now. And they're going to use you, nigga, and emotionally, they're going to get you attached to their little movement, Anteeefa and all this bullshit, to get your head blown off. Strategically learn how to move. Running around with RBG shirts talking about fuck America. What part of strategy is that? But this has already been 15 minutes, man. It is so much more. That's not even the tip of the iceberg. The video already 15 minutes long. Do your own research. And white people, you do it too, because I ain't trying to make this about race. They coming after you. White, black, Mexican, they are coming after us. I just want to put that out there. Let y'all know for a minute, hey man, this is what's going on. Go on and arm yourselves. Your main man, Chaziel Sons. God bless. Holla at you.
We're building the barricades. Go get everything you can find. Go get everything you can find. These are the boys right here. This is the team. There's more stuff that we can put out here. Hey, there's 3 picnic tables up here. There's a couple picnic tables up here. Let's go on. Come on, y'all.
Sit and look. I want you to know this is not.
Don't police people's way of
Let me tell you this.
themselves.
This is not a black woman who's putting Black Lives Matter. I just want you to know that right, but y'all doing that for us, and we ain't asked you to do that. Listen, don't spray stuff on here when they gonna blame black people for this, and black people didn't do it.
You cannot be civil with a political party that wants to destroy what you stand for, what you care about.
Hey, there's 3 picnic tables up here. There's a couple picnic tables up here. Let's go on.
That is the call call to action that I have for Black America with Blexit? Like, why do we keep fulfilling this narrative? What do you think the perception of us, by the way, is on the outside? You ever look at the comments? You ever go into like an anonymous blog and see what people say? Oh, just Black people being Black people. I see those racist comments. Oh, just Black people got to riot. Black people got to be Black people. You know how they are. Oh, just Black people being ignorant. That is the perception. When people get to be anonymous and talk about us, that's what they think about us, right? They think that we are the kind of people that will forever uphold criminals as the martyrs of our society, that we will never take account for the things that we do wrong, right? That we don't have it within us to educate ourselves to get ahead. And that for those of us that actually do it, well, we get called coons, right? You got Condoleezza Rice, she's a coon. Larry Elder, he's a coon. Dr. Ben Carson, brain surgeon, first ever to perform the surgery of splitting twins that are connected by the head. He's a coon, right? What a loser he is. What a stupid guy he is. Kanye West says he's not going to be told to do it because of the color of his skin. He's a coon. He's lost. He's in the sunken place. The sunken place. That's where we all are, right? Because we demand more and we will get more out of this society because we're going to get ahead, right? That's what's going to happen. We're going to get ahead. Black conservatives get ahead because we don't subscribe to this narrative. Because you're not going to catch me outside trying to grab a TV pretending that it's because a martyr named George Floyd got killed. Okay? I'm a big believer that no matter what color you are, you do stupid things, you win stupid prizes. Okay? We have to do better. We have to teach our kids better. Or we're not going to get ahead, right?
The movement has been compromised. Okay? Everybody needs to know that. The RBG movement has been compromised. BLM, if you are not caught up to BLM, it is not even a real Black organization. It never was. Like I said, the movement has been compromised. There is no Black RBG movement. If you were claiming BLM, you a real sad motherfucker.
I am not going to stand for this continual bottom-feeding narrative of us martyring people that have had 5, 6, 7 stints in prison and then pretending they were upstanding heroes to our community. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. Excuse my language. It's absolute bullshit. And I'm tired of it. I'm tired of having to play pretend. I'm tired of sitting here and being called a coon or an Uncle Tom because I won't play this bottom-feeding game with you. If you want to hang up posters of criminals on your wall and talk about them as your martyrs, do it. Do it.